In Trinidad and Tobago's evolving business landscape, organizations are being challenged to do more with tighter resources, high expectations, and increasing pressure on leaders and teams. Well, this morning, we're asking an important question. What is that pressure really costing your business? Well, as we observe Stress Awareness and Financial Literacy Month, we're joined by HR strategist Georgia Donaldson, who is helping companies connect the dots between workplace performance and financial results, showing how better people management leads to stronger business outcomes. Good morning to you, Georgia.
Good morning, Nirmal. Thank you so much for having me.
No problem. So let's start here. What are you seeing in the workplaces across TNT right now when it comes to pressure on teams?
Wow. In Trinidad and Tobago, because this economy continues to grow and we're seeing organizations who want to scale their business, scaling without recognizing that the foundation needs to be set with people. So the people are feeling the pressure because of all of the targets. So you keep hearing talk about Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4, the quarters. What are the targets you need to meet? And they are pressuring people to meet all of that. Of course, it's necessary because you're for profit. But where is the support that you're getting to meet those targets? And that's where the missing link is. Pressuring people to work, but not providing the support.
Yeah, and now, many organizations are focused on their output, right?
Oh, yes.
So how does the pressure behind the scenes begin to affect performance as well?
That's a great question. And make no doubt about it, output is important. It's the people who are providing that output. Here's where it's showing up. When we're seeing people are disengaged, when we're seeing people are absent from work, when we're seeing people who get there, who are at work, but they're just present.
Yeah.
They're just warming the seats. Then that's when you're seeing it. And particularly if you're in a service environment, the customer feels it immediately. So take, for example, a bank.
Yeah.
If the employee is disengaged, they're not making that connection with the customer. If you're in manufacturing, the productivity goes down, so the customer feels it. So that level of disengagement, you'd see directly impacting the customers.
Yeah, even hospitality and food, especially food.
If you go there, yes.
Yeah, then people are turned off. Well, when employees are despondent, I guess that translates into how they work.
Yes.
But also that performance, you said that performance and profit are directly connected. So if your employees don't perform well, then you probably will have no customers.
Certainly
and then,
not.
So explain that link for us and how that shows up in real terms.
Yes, they go hand in hand and they're not mutually exclusive. They have to go together because it's the people, it's not the four walls in the organization that produce the profits for the organization. It's the people in that organization. And when you do not create the climate and the environment for them, then they will shrink. So you will see them not stepping up. You will see that the decisions that are being made are not the right decisions. You will see that the interface among themselves in the organization, that goes flat. And that now will translate into the kinds of relationships that they're building with their clients. And when everything falls, profits will fall.
And what are some warning signs that workplace pressure is starting to impact a team negatively?
Yes. I like to talk to leaders about a few things. So, sometimes you have your meetings and just before the meeting, employees will come in and have a little banter. They can't have banter anymore because they're so stretched. So they just need to get to that meeting and finish that meeting and get to what they're doing. Look out for that. When you thought that your employees were always feeling safe to come to talk to you and no longer feeling safe, take a look at that as well. When you see that the innovation and the creativity that you were accustomed to and you're not seeing that coming out, take a look at that as well. And I'm saying to leaders, it's important just to stop and take a look at what's happening.
Yeah, and how does pressure affect decision making at the leadership level now?
Oh my goodness. So there are two things that can happen. So they can start making decisions faster, and those fast decisions are not based on the right information because there's pressure. So they want to make sure that they're making quick decisions. But quick doesn't necessarily mean that the quality is there. It also leads to decisions that are not grounded in the right data. And so these quick decisions are not strategic. So that's how we see it showing up. It also leads to things that are not relevant for what the organization is going through. Because we're rushing, we just come to the quickest decision so that we can move forward. That's how it's impacting leaders.
Now, from a financial standpoint, how does disengagement or lack of clarity impact the bottom line?
Wow. So as we said before, when people are disengaged, they're not producing at their best. So think of you mentioned hospitality. Think of your server in your restaurant who is disengaged, the minute they're serving you, you're going to feel it.
Yes.
Yeah, you go to restaurants all the time, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And you know the employee who is engaged versus the one who is disengaged. So when they're not engaged, errors happen more often. You will see that they're frustrated and that frustration comes out. And also the quality of the service generally goes down. So engagement is an important thing that leaders need to look at. Not just with surveys, it's with listening to the employees.
Happy employees, happy business.
Yes,
or
and
successful
more profits.
business. Exactly.
More profits.
As you said, they
They're
go
linked.
hand in hand.
They are linked.
So it is Stress Awareness Month and Financial Literacy Month. Am I correct?
Yes.
So in your opinion, what should leaders be paying more attention to right now?
Okay. Leaders should be paying attention to what matters most. The people in the organization who make the organization go. They're the ones who make the organization thrive. And so one of the things I would suggest to leaders, just go back into your office today and just sit with a few people and say, what are some of the things that we're doing that we should stop doing? It's simple. So we overcomplicate some of the things in organizations. So what should we stop doing? What are some of the things we should start doing that we're not doing? And what are some of the things that we are doing now that we need to continue? Have small focus groups, get the comments from your employees, and use what they have said.
Yeah, it's really small steps.
Yes.
And how can leaders shift from just, managing people? That's a very broad
Oh my
too.
goodness. That one kind of triggers me.
Yeah, it does. It really, really does. Because sometimes, the micromanagement and all of that. But to truly leading them in especially high pressure environments.
I usually like to say that we manage things and we manage processes. We don't so much manage people. We lead people. So if leaders were to stop to think, what are the things that I need to manage? And how do I lead my people? So how are we leading? We're influencing. We're showing them the way. We're giving them the vision. We're connecting and we're communicating with them. So not managing them, managing the things that they do, but leading them.
Yeah. And Jojo, what is one immediate change you would advise business owners in Trinidad and Tobago specifically now to make that they can improve both performance and results?
We have 2 ears, 1 mouth. I want leaders to listen more than they speak. Listen twice as much as you speak. When you say you have one-on-ones with your employees, who is speaking the most? Is it you or the employee? Listen to that employee because they're the ones who are on the ground producing the results that you need. My simple word, listen more than you speak.
Yeah, but sometimes, Georgia, on another note, employees may air certain things and it's up to the ones who are listening to actually do something with that information. So that's another thing, so that employees feel like they have a safe space where they can air these concerns and things can actually happen. What would you say to employees before we wrap up this morning who may be feeling a little bit disenchanted or disengaged? What would you say to them now on the flip side?
So the employees, the environment may not be the best thing, but one thing is certain, you bring value. So never think that the value that you bring is not important. Always remember your worth. Try to find an avenue to speak to someone. So you may not be able to speak to your immediate supervisor or your boss, but there should be someone else you can speak to. I also recommend to employees reflection. Reflection is very important because sometimes it's always somebody else and we're not thinking that it's us. So stop and take some time for reflection. Those are some important things.
All right. Thank you so much, Georgia, for joining us this morning.
Pleasure.
Definitely a conversation that needs to be had and one that we can continue to talk about as well. If you are listening this morning, we had the email address, Georgia's email address on the screen for you. It's right there and it's at gmail.com. My eyes are not the best this morning, but please feel free to reach out and, just have a conversation with her as well. Thank you, Georgia, for being here.
It was my pleasure. Thank you.
Well, just about 3 minutes before 7 o'clock. Coming up inside the next hour. Remember, we link up with our remaining sister stations, so look out for that. And of course, so much more in Trinidad and Tobago today. Stick around.